This pyramid of hierarchy of evidence is something I usually forget, so I thought it will be useful if I remember this using an example. Hope this helps you too. Before diving into the example, remember one thing. In this pyramid, as we go to the top, we get strong. So the bottom one is weaker compared to the upper one. So let's take an example of a new fluoride varnish. So in case of the example, the new fluoride varnish is suggested by your professor, but your senior says it doesn't work, whereas your professor says it works really well. I have been using it for years. So there is a mixed opinion and there is no proof. So something like that, which gives you a mixed opinion, but it is coming from an expert, comes under expert opinion and background. Since it has no proof, it is the weakest. Coming to the next one, case series and case reports. Case reports are of single patient, whereas case series is of multiple similar patients. And case series is a few patients' stories where you apply varnish to 10 children and most stay cavity free. But that doesn't say that the varnish is actually helping them in staying away from cavities. It might be some other reason. Now we go up to the middle deck where these three have evidence and also these are comparative studies. In this, cross-sectional studies are of very short duration. Suppose if you apply varnish to the whole town today and find kids who got the varnish have fewer cavities right now. This is useful for how common are the cavities. So you can't tell if the varnish came before or after the cavities. There may be existing cavities even when you are applying the varnish. Now coming to the case control studies. These case control studies work backwards from the problem. For suppose, if you take 50 kids with cavities and 50 without them, the main problem of the case control studies is there is no proper timeline of events as we go backward. Now coming to the cohort studies. So these are the studies in which we follow them forward over time. For suppose we take kids who got varnish and kids who didn't, then follow both of the groups for 3 years and count who gets cavities. This is much better because we have the exact timeline of events when the varnish has been used, and these upper two has the strong evidence among all. In randomized controlled trials, for suppose we take 200 kids and randomly assign each one, half get the new varnish and half get the standard one, and then we wait and count cavities. Because it's random, the two groups are basically identical except for the varnish. So if one group gets fewer cavities, the varnish is almost certainly the reason. And coming to the topmost one, systemic review and meta-analysis. This is just a combine of all the good trials. Instead of trusting one trial, you gather every well-run varnish trial in the world and mathematically combine them into one big answer. This is the strongest of all. And it's a conclusion of many studies put together, not just one. And after studying this, I have got a doubt. Why do we have to connect all the weakest ones when we already know this is the strongest? But the answer is, the spark of the idea is actually from the case series, case reports, and the cross-sectional studies we see. That is where we start with an idea and then we reach something like randomized control trials and systemic reviews and meta-analysis.